Oh, hi. Sorry, you're early. Um, Let me just get this up. Today, welcome to story time, by the way. Today we're going to continue with Door into Evermoor. We're on chapter 6, so we're getting closer to where we're going to have to stop. Of course, if I get some comments and you know people say, "Yeah, we gotta know what's happening," by the book. So I apologize. My voice is a little out of tune today. Still got a sore throat, so we'll try and get through this as best we can. I'm using a Kindle or a Kindle. I'm using a tablet here to put it up on. It takes a while. It's slow. I apologize. There we go. Door to Evermore. Yay! By Kent Wayne. So let's get to where we need to be. That's chapter 7. We did read chapter 5 last time, right? Okay. Yeah, he was just going into the pub. They're going to go find out more about this. I've got a weird backlight here. Makes my beard look better, though. So let's go start with chapter 6. Announce yourself, the tower guards calls. Rand of Barons. You? The guard points at me. Name and purpose. His name is John, Red answers. He is under my protection. The guard confers with someone out of sight, then faces us again. Rand of the Barons, I would ask you a question. Ask in haste, guardsman. I would fill my belly and rest my feet. Your last stallions, how in the gods did she stand your odor? Speak not of your mother, Eccles, lest she flog us both for your careless tongue. The guard laughs and cycles a hand, signaling the others to open the gate. Let them in, let them in. Giant chains clink and clank as the doors swing wide. I notice big wooden bands, each dotted with uniform craters, run link-wide across the interiors. I'm puzzled at first, then I spot some logs beneath the tower. Okay. If the gates were ever to come under siege, they would prop the logs against the bands and keep the doors from buckling inward. The depressions in the bands act as cradles for the logs, to keep them from sliding or slipping out of place, while stone braces dot the deck, ready to buttress the logs from the ground. Ren walks forward and abruptly halts. I try to keep going, but he grabs my shoulder and pulls me back. Wait. A man and woman emerge from a shack built into the foundation of the right guard tower. Should have let him through, the man grumbles. Would have liked to have seen him jump and twitch. He doesn't have wards, Ren explains. His guts would have spilled from his mouth and nose. All for the best. I'm not in the mood to clean up innards. Wait, what? Innards? The man faces his partner and blows into his palm, releasing a mote of shimmering haze. His partner lets it alight into her hand, then squishes it in her clenched fist, causing tendrils of light to squirt through her fingers. A rune-laden wall blinks into existence, illuminating the air between us and the gatekeepers, then slowly fades and disappears. You're free to enter, the woman declares. Barring emergencies, the main gate is always open. These gates are not. We cut off access from dusk till dawn. Ren nods and strides forward. As I follow behind, the gatekeeper, wizard I now realize, shakes her head in disgust and bafflement. What's the matter with you? Trying to enter without any wands? Without any wards? She raises a finger like she's about to scold me, then crosses her arms and shakes her head again. Damn tourist. We proceed onto the main avenue, bordered by a jumble of shops and booths. The people and creatures are rough and loud, heckling and bartering for wares and services. Time to address my endangered innards. Ren, after we entered, yes, he showed us past a man that I think is an ogre. Well, that was magic, wasn't it? When the man and the woman deactivated the light wall? I don't want to say force field, but I'm pretty sure that's not what it's called. Magic, yes. What of it? He's irritated. Apparently I just asked a stupid question. Well, I've never seen it before. I was just making sure. Right, he mutters. I think he's being nice. If I were anyone else, I probably would have earned the Evermoor version of a Captain Oblivious, a bit obvious joke. Was it Philip magic, or we emerged from a crush of merchants and traders? There's clusters of people milling around, but no longer standing shoulder to shoulder. Grim locks eyes with me. Your knife. You have it on you? Aye. I do a quick check. Yeah, why wouldn't I? I forgot to tell you, watch out for pickpockets. Oh. I think for a bit trying to figure out how to guide the conversation back to magic, but he does it for me. Aside from Lydrea and her protectorate sorcerers, no one uses Velic magic spells. For the most part, the only magic you'll see is lower hedge magic, or in the case of those gateside mages, some intermediary arcanics, which is the same thing, only stronger. A bit more advanced than charms and readings, but nothing special. Nothing special, right. Got it. One of them said I needed a ward or I would die horribly when I crossed the the barrier, I mean. Do you have any wards I could borrow? No, mine are immaterial. He waves his hand in a vague circle. As you can see. What do you mean, as you can see? What do you mean? What do you mean? He snaps. They're right here. He makes the same gesture, only faster and angrier. You said subtle or energies a while back. Were you talking about your wards? Are they invisible? No. Grumpy McGrumpperson is definitely grumpy. These aren't subtle. They're right there for all to... His eyes widen in shock. Your eyes. Your sight. It isn't quickened? Now I'm confused. As far as I know, my sight is just as fast as... He cuts me off with an open hand. You haven't been open to the Orphic sphere. The Orphic, another name for the arcane realm. His expression turns doubtful. How did you manage to survive on your own? It's not that bad, I shrug. No one on Earth has quickened sight. Well, maybe a few, but people dismiss them as crazy or fake. They're deified, or sometimes, but more often than not, we burn them alive or nail them to sticks. Quickened senses, curses, and hex would be slow to take root. But at the same time, he shakes his head. Never mind, until we reach safer harbors, I see I will have to act as your personal guardian. I'm not a baby, I argue. You don't have to. Do you know how to use that? He points at the knife hanging off my jeans. Touche. I rub the back of my neck. Well, I followed your lead. What's the plan? I told you I need to trade for goods and supplies. Stay close because I have no desire to... after that, what will you do with me? He blows through his lips, a resentful sigh, if I had to describe it. I should leave you in Naverse, a smaller city with calmer folk. Wait, you're just dropping off in another city? Sudden panic takes hold of my chest. Is that a problem? I grab my hair with both hands. I'm not supposed to be here, okay? I know, which is why I will leave you in Naverse Township. He cocks his head, mildly puzzled. No, that's not what I clutch the air and groan in frustration. Look, I'm in way over my head. You can't just leave me in Naverse. Whatever, I throw up my hands. You can't just abandon me, Ren. For Christ's sake, I walked through a door in a goddamn tree, and now I'm living in Dungeons and Dragons. Everyone stops and stares. Come hither. Ren hisses. He grabs my neck, herding me into a nook between a couple of trading tents. This is not the place to act unwise. He squeezes hard, causing a yelp of pain to fly from my mouth. Man, is he strong. But that doesn't mean he's right. I reach for my knife, intending to show him I'm deadly serious. His other hand drops, trapping my wrist before I can draw. What are you doing? He asks incredulously. Let go. I bare my teeth in painful grimace. Or I swear I'll cut you. His eyes search mine, then he lets me go with a rough shove. You have spirit, he says grudgingly. Test it with care, or your lifeless boots will face the sky. Is that your way of saying that someone will kill me? Yes. Fantasy speak. Cool. I wear sneakers, I countered, not boots. Lame, I know, but it's all I can think of. We met for a reason, Ren. If you're going to leave me in a random city, you might as well kill me here and now. Never say is safe. You're being overdrawn. How do you know I'm not the traveler? It might seem unlikely, unimaginably so. But until you can definitely rule it out, there's still a chance I might be the one. He falls silent. Then, I'll think about it. Fair? I answer with a nod. Fair. Come, he brushes past me. Supplies and a meal, and then we're gone. And just like that, I'm back to being a nervous kid. Not trying to nag, but could I get one of those ward thingies to keep my guts from flying out? He closes his eyes and lets out a sigh. Yes, we'll get you a ward. Thanks. Whew. Not gonna lie, I like my guts inside my body. For the next 2 hours, Ron barters with humans and wilders, changing his dialogue to match the vendors. At times, he sounds perfectly normal, a slapdash mix of casual and formal. But just as often, he sounds like a different person altogether. During one exchange, he throws around gutter slang patois that completely changes his carriage and bearing. It's like he's suddenly becoming rhythmic sleazebag, conversing mostly in winks and nudges. Over the course of his barter, I realized his cowboy man purse is a magical storehouse. He packs it with loads of meat and bread, but it never changes. It always appears exactly the same. I never would have guessed he would need this much stuff. After a seventh trade, he says, let's get you a ward. We head to a stand tended by a 6-foot lizard man in an armless vest. Hanging from the ceiling are dozens of amulets. Basic protection, Run says, nothing lavish. Lizard guy scans his inventory, then picks out a bronze disc embossed with a pair of boots. Traveler's Award, made in Harkony. He holds it out by its high neck strap. Run drapes the strap over his fingers, appraising the disc with a critical eye. The artisan? A witch named Parsley. Best one around for 100 fairies. Never heard of her, Run grunts, but it'll do. What do you take? No coin from Karos or Chime Shadow. Also nothing from Fairfolk. That's a first. Fairfolk goods are desired by all. Not anymore. If Landrea's knights find anything fair, they'll take it for themselves and throw you and go. One's expression twists in surprise. What? Why? Lizard guy shakes his head as if to say, unbelievable. A pact was struck between the Alban Fairfolk and the Birthright Alliance. Supposedly, it was just an agreement to trade wares, but Landrea was angry nevertheless. That much is rumor, but this much is fact. The Queen has banned Fairfolk merchandise. Run's voice tightens with anger. Elwyn lands are 1,000 fair distance. We have nothing to do with them, and the Fairfolk are not a singular people. They're a vast collection of desperate... Lizard guy gives him a tired look. It's none of my business. None of yours either. For a moment, Ren looks like he's about to retort. Then he takes a breath and settles down. Speak your cost. They go on autopilot, trading offers and counteroffers in a quick, efficient monotone. A minute later, they arrive at a price. May light find you in dark places. Ren hands over a trio of coins. I wonder. May it ease your eyes and guide your feet. And then we're off. Ren hands me the ward. Thanks. As I slip it around my neck, I say, what? I'm not sure how to ask about Lizard Guy's race. He's a wilder, right? Yes, Ren keeps walking toward a tavern called Gantry's Fire. What kind of how do you say race in a world that has lizard people? What kind of he's designate. He's Sorak of the Sora. Oh, okay. I snap my fingers, struck by a sudden epiphany. You know, I just realized you speak English. Where did you learn how to run scoffs? Not disgust, but more of a what TF scoff. What is English? I speak Scopic. So do you. I'm also fluent in Ionistic, Liturgic, and Enconese. Wow, impressive. Not the least. Nearly everyone here speaks 3 or more languages. Has that always been the case? At the end of the decline, mostly only spoke a single tongue. But that was a time of aberrance and chaos. The decline. When is that exactly? The last 100 years preceding the fracture. Now mind your speech and shorten your aura. We'll talk more after food and drink. As we walk through the door of Gantry's Fire, I find myself grinning. I might be stuck in another dimension, but it's a hell of a lot better than what I was facing on Earth. Slow assimilation into an uncaring machine driven by convoluted laws and humdrum standards. That damned contract changed everything. Something different. Now as I enter a tavern filled with rogues and wanderers and God knows what, a surge of purpose rushes through me like a springtime breeze laden with promise. You were right, Atreya. You were right about all of it. There are other worlds than these, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So that's number 6. We're getting along, and I really am enjoying this. I hope you are too. Tomorrow we'll do number 7, unless I get onto it tonight. So look for the next video, and then we'll do chapter 8. And as I said, then we might stop. I'm not making any guarantees. I may have to talk them into letting me do more, or I'm getting kind of hooked on this thing. So I'm going to read it no matter what myself. So I'm hoping you get the book and see it for yourself. Like I said, it's a young adult fiction, but that doesn't mean that older adults can't enjoy it too. So this is Dan Booker signing off. I appreciate you coming in and visit with me. Stop back on my next video and let's have story time together. So thanks again. Have a good day. Bye.